maybe you did cause a couple of minor accidents, but that can happen to anybody.
I know, but I'm very good at it.
I love you, you big lug. Give me money.
My brain must be filled up because my hair hurts.
10 most annoying 80s TV characters that ruined great shows. Remember those perfect family TV nights? The whole household gathered around the screen, everyone excited for their favorite show to begin. Then suddenly, a new character would appear, and you'd feel your heart sink. Not because they were scary or dramatic, but because something about them just felt wrong. The 1980s gave us incredible television that we still love today, but sometimes even the best shows made decisions that left us scratching our heads and reaching for the remote. Tonight, we're talking about those characters that made us groan every time they appeared on screen. Here's what'll shock you. Number 3 on our list was added to a beloved family show specifically to attract younger viewers, but instead drove away so many fans that the show was canceled the following season. And wait until you hear about number 7. This character was so universally hated that the actor received death threats and had to hire bodyguards. These aren't just characters we didn't like. These are the ones that fundamentally changed shows for the worse, turned beloved series into shadows of their former selves, and left fans wondering what the writers were thinking. From cute kids added to aging shows to love interests nobody wanted, these characters prove that sometimes more isn't better. So settle in, maybe prepare to relive some frustrating TV memories, and let's count down the characters that made us question our loyalty to our favorite shows. And if you ever yelled at your TV screen during the 80s, hit that subscribe button, because you're definitely not alone. Oliver Tyler from The Brady Bunch. Let's start with the character that literally gave his name to a phenomenon. Oliver Tyler joined the Brady Bunch during its final season as Carol's nephew who comes to live with the family. What was supposed to breathe new life into the show, instead, became the kiss of death. The Cousin Oliver syndrome describes what happens when shows add cute kids to recapture their original magic. Oliver was supposed to be adorable and lovable. Instead, he was annoying, intrusive, and felt completely out of place in the Brady family dynamic. What made Oliver so frustrating was how forced his integration felt. The Brady kids had spent 5 seasons developing their relationships, and suddenly, there was this new character taking up screen time and changing storylines. Family discussions that should have involved the teenagers suddenly centered around what the cute little kid thought. Oliver's addition marked the beginning of the end for the Brady Bunch. The show was canceled at the end of that season, and many fans point to his character as the moment they realized their beloved family show had lost its way. Jefferson Darcy from Married with Children. Ted McGinley earned the nickname The Show Killer, and his role as Jefferson Darcy on Married with Children proved why. When he replaced the original neighbor character, fans immediately sensed something was wrong. Jefferson was supposed to be the sophisticated foil to Al Bundy's blue-collar everyman. He was wealthy, cultured, and married to Marcy. On paper, the character made sense. In execution, he was insufferably smug and completely lacked the chemistry that had made the original neighbor dynamics work. What made Jefferson so annoying was his air of superiority combined with complete incompetence.
You want to have a wedding to remember? Let's have one. Let's have the grandest wedding we can afford.
Yes, let's! I have $2,000 saved.
Okay, and let's see, that brings us to a total of $2,040.
He looked down on Al while being utterly useless himself. The character was written to be sophisticated, but came across as pretentious. Every appearance reminded viewers that someone better used to live next door. Jefferson represented everything frustrating about replacement characters. Instead of bringing something new, he just highlighted what was missing. Chachi Arcola from Happy Days. Scott Baio's Chachi seemed harmless when he first appeared as Fonzie's cousin, but as his role expanded, Chachi became everything wrong with Happy Days' later seasons. Chachi represented the show's attempt to recapture its early magic by creating a younger version of Fonzie. He had the leather jacket, the attitude, and the way with the ladies. But what had felt authentic with Fonzie felt forced and calculated with Chachi. His romance with Joni Cunningham dominated storylines and pushed other beloved characters to the background. Instead of being part of the Happy Days family, Chachi and Joni became the focus. What made Chachi particularly frustrating was how he changed the show's tone. Happy Days had been about nostalgia and family. Chachi brought a modern sensibility that felt out of place in the 1950s setting, reminding viewers they were watching a show made in the 1980s. Scrappy-Doo from Scooby-Doo. Puppy power. If those words make you cringe, you're not alone. Scrappy-Doo, Scooby's tiny nephew, was added to the franchise in 1979 and immediately became one of the most hated characters in cartoon history. Scooby-Doo had been about lovable cowards who accidentally stumbled into heroism. The humor came from watching Scooby and Shaggy try to avoid danger while solving mysteries. Scrappy's fearless aggression completely disrupted this dynamic, turning comedy into action. What made Scrappy insufferable was his arrogance combined with his size. He constantly picked fights with monsters that could squash him, then expected Scooby to back him up. His catchphrase, "Let me at him," became a source of dread for viewers.
Let me at him! Let me at him!
The character was so universally disliked that he actually received death threats from fans. The hatred was so intense it became a cultural phenomenon. Scrappy proved that even beloved franchises could be ruined by well-intentioned additions. Number 6. Woody Boyd from Cheers. When Woody Boyd replaced Coach on Cheers after Nicholas Colasanto's death, fans were understandably skeptical. Woody Harrelson did his best with an impossible situation, but the character never quite fit the Cheers family the way Coach had. Woody was supposed to be the innocent, naive bartender who provided gentle humor through his confusion.
You know, I guess it's true. You listen to the sound of your own voice, it always sounds different.
But where Coach's confusion felt authentic and endearing, Woody's felt calculated and forced. The character was written to be lovably dumb, but often came across as just plain stupid. What made Woody particularly annoying was how his presence reminded everyone of what they'd lost. Every time he misunderstood a concept or asked an obvious question, viewers couldn't help but think about how Coach would have handled the same situation.
My brain must be filled up because my hair hurts.
Woody represented the impossible task of replacing an irreplaceable character. While the actor would later prove his talent elsewhere, Woody Boyd remained a reminder that some losses can't be overcome by good intentions. Coming up, we're meeting 3 characters so annoying they actually changed the entire direction of their shows. Number 5. Wheeler from Captain Planet. Captain Planet was supposed to teach kids about environmental responsibility while providing exciting adventures. Wheeler, the hot-headed American with fire powers, was meant to represent passion and determination. Instead, he became a walking stereotype who embodied everything annoying about 80s cartoon characters. Wheeler's constant need to rush into danger without thinking made him more liability than hero. While his fellow Planeteers used strategy and teamwork, Wheeler relied on aggression and stubbornness. His firepower seemed to match his personality, destructive and hard to control. What made Wheeler particularly frustrating was his treatment of teammates, especially his constant romantic pursuit of Linka that felt inappropriate and creepy. His American arrogance often clashed with the show's global environmental message. Wheeler represented everything wrong with American cartoon stereotypes. Loud, impulsive, and believing enthusiasm could substitute for intelligence. His presence often derailed episodes about environmental education, turning them into Wheeler's personal drama. Number 4. Bam Bam Rubble from the Flintstones. The Flintstones had been television gold before the decision was made to add a baby to the Rubble family. Bam Bam, with his super strength and limited vocabulary, was supposed to bring new energy to the show. Instead, he brought new annoyance and marked the beginning of the series' decline. Bam Bam's super strength gimmick became tiresome quickly. Every episode featuring him followed the same patterns. Bam Bam would accidentally destroy something, chaos would ensue, and somehow everything would work out. The predictability was mind-numbing. What made Bam Bam particularly annoying was how his presence changed the show's focus from adult relationships and workplace comedy to childcare and baby humor that wasn't particularly funny. The character clearly existed to sell toys rather than serve the story. This commercial focus became obvious and detracted from the authentic humor that had made the Flintstones special. Bam Bam marked when the show stopped being innovative and started following formulas. Number 3. 7 from Married with Children. Here's the character that perfectly exemplifies how not to save a struggling show. 7. The young boy who moved in with the Bundy family was added during the 7th season to attract younger viewers. Instead, he drove away longtime fans and accelerated the show's decline. 7 was everything wrong with cute kid additions wrapped up in one annoying package. He was precocious without being charming, intrusive without being endearing, and completely out of place in the Bundy family's dysfunctional dynamic. What made 7 particularly infuriating was how his presence changed Al Bundy's character.
I love you, you big lug. Give me money.
Al had been a magnificently selfish anti-hero, whose crude humor made him paradoxically likable. With 7 around, Al had to become more responsible and family-friendly, destroying what made the character work. 7's addition was so universally hated that the character was quietly written out without explanation. He literally disappeared between seasons, never to be mentioned again. An admission that the addition had been a catastrophic mistake everyone wanted to forget. Number 2. Poochie from The Simpsons. Though from the late 90s, Poochie deserves mention as the perfect satire of everything wrong with character additions. When The Simpsons created Poochie for the fictional Itchy and Scratchy show, they were making fun of exactly the kind of characters on our list. Poochie was designed to be cool and edgy to attract younger viewers. He wore sunglasses, played guitar, and spoke in slang that was already outdated. Everything about him was calculated to seem hip, which made him immediately and obviously fake. The genius of Poochie was how he demonstrated the futility of adding characters just to chase demographics. His every appearance was met with hatred from the cartoon's audience, perfectly mirroring how real audiences react to similar additions. Poochie's rapid removal from the show, complete with the announcement that he died on the way back to his home planet, became the perfect metaphor for how unwanted characters should be handled. Number 1. Wesley Crusher from Star Trek: The Next Generation. And here's the character that made an entire generation question their love for Star Trek. Wesley Crusher, the teenage boy genius who somehow always saved the Enterprise, represented everything annoying about child characters taken to its absolute extreme.
Who do you think you're bullying? You bumped into me. It was your mistake.
Wesley wasn't just smart. He was impossibly, unrealistically, annoyingly smart. This teenager could solve problems that stumped trained engineers, figure out solutions that escaped experienced officers, and generally make every adult look incompetent. What made Wesley particularly insufferable was his moral superiority. He didn't just solve technical problems, he often lectured adults about right and wrong. This teenager would question command decisions, challenge protocols, and act like he knew better than everyone. Wesley's presence changed the entire dynamic of Star Trek. Instead of being about professional adults exploring the galaxy, too many episodes became about how a teenager could outsmart everyone else. His existence made trained Starfleet officers look incompetent. The fact that Wesley was eventually written off the show proved that even the writers recognized the character had been a mistake. Sometimes the most annoying characters make us question everything we thought we loved about a show. 10 characters that turned our favorite shows into exercises in frustration. From Cousin Oliver's forced cuteness to Wesley Crusher's impossible perfection, these characters remind us that even the best shows can make terrible decisions. These characters teach us that great television is about balance, chemistry, and understanding what makes a show special in the first place. Adding new elements can work, but only if they enhance what already exists, rather than replacing or overwhelming it. The amazing thing is that most of these shows survive their annoying characters and are still beloved today. We remember the good times and try to forget the frustrating episodes. That's the power of truly great television. It can survive even its worst decisions. Which of these characters annoyed you most? Did we miss any characters that made you want to throw things at your TV? Share your most frustrating character memories in the comments below. We know you have stories to tell. If this trip through TV's most annoying characters brought back some painful memories, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Sometimes the best way to deal with frustration is to share it with people who understand exactly how you feel. Thanks for joining us on this journey through television's biggest mistakes. And remember, Every time a beloved show adds a cute kid or a young love interest, somewhere a fan is reaching for the remote. Until next time, keep those memories alive and never forget that the best characters are the ones who make shows better, not the ones who remind us how good things used to be.